real news. They give you the fake news. We'll give you the real news right here at Media Group and Associates. Things are happening all over the globe. And as things are going on, the truth about what's happening in your city, your state, and your community. You can get the truth right here at Fake Real News, right here on DK Media Group and Associates. That is Fake Real News at DK Media Group and Associates. Things are happening in and around your community. There's outrage. You need to know the truth. Come and get the truth right here at Fake Real News. Welcome everyone to another episode. Welcome to another edition of Fake Real News. Welcome to another edition of Fake Real News. I'm your host, one of your hosts, Raheen Ajami, out of Atlanta, Georgia. And we also have with us our California correspondent. We have our California correspondent. I think he's doing some things on the other side there. We're going to be with him in just 1 second. But I want to welcome each and every one of you from all over the globe to Fake Real News. Some would say that that is a play on words. I say no, it's not. It's not a play on words at all. What it is the reality of your sitting president, right? Hopefully in a few days, who will not be your sitting president. He always talking about fake news, fake news, fake news. Well, what we're going to do, we're going to take that fake news and turn it into real news. We're going to turn fake real news into real news right here on DKM Media Group and Associates. So what I want you to do is continue to share the broadcast, like the broadcast, subscribe to the broadcast right here. We got a lot that we're going to talk about today. We got a few things that we really want to address and make sure that we bring you the fake real news right here on DKM Media Group and Associates. Now, there's been a lot of things that's been going on in the last few days. The big thing that's going on right now is that election. The election is coming up. It's going to be voting day. If I'm not mistaken, California is opening up their polls in a few days. We're going to actually talk to Rodney. When we come to Rodney, we're actually going to talk to him about when California opened up their voting for the president and all the other offices. But the big one is for the president of the United States of America. It's been 4 years. It's been 4 years. It has been 4 years up under the leadership of number 45. What has he done? What difference has he made? He's made a lot of promises. He's talked to a lot of people about this and about that, and he's going to do this and he's going to do that. But my question is, what has he really done? What has he really done for the American people? What has he really done for the world? He's been sitting in the office. He talks so much all the time. He talks about Biden. Biden is this and Biden is that, and Biden hadn't done this and Biden hadn't done that. But my thing is, Mr. 45, what has you done? Let me go to our California correspondent. We have our co-host with us now. This is Rodney Allen Rippey. Hey, sir, how you doing?
Good morning. How are you there, Ray?
Hey, doing good, doing good. Well, I'm asking a question about your sitting president, number 45. Rodney, you may look at this thing a little different than I look at it. So what has he done?
Well, there's a lot of controversy going on right now. And, people are saying that the jobs are up. People are saying various things. And, being an American and thinking like a businessman, we really do kind of need to balance the influx of products coming in, things going out, keeping jobs here. So in some aspects, this has to be a very balanced thing. Now, when you look at the economy, we have to find out this is where the voters really have to get out there. We really have to do our homework, and we really have to look at the big pictures that are going to affect America long term. And so we're looking at things. And now, I have to be honest, there's a lot of stuff about Donald Trump that I don't like. But then there are certain things about, quote unquote, America we have to put in perspective, especially like the inflow of products from foreign lands, the fact that companies here, and shame on American companies for outsourcing and sending our jobs overseas so that they can save on their bottom line. we need to keep Americans working. We need to keep jobs right here at home. So these things are very, very critical. Now, on the social side, you know, has the president done a good job as far as unifying America? As you can see, there's a lot of people up in arms, and there's a lot of people who feel entitled to throw their opinion on what should be. I think this is going to be a very, very, very important election. So people get out, make sure that you read the initiatives, make sure that you vote. And you have to remember, your vote does count, that this election is very, very critical. And right now, I am doing everything that I can to make sure that my vote is the best vote for America, the best vote for me, my family, my business interests. So it's a lot to all wrap up in one. Now, we have to look at this election on many, many sides. This is something that we have to think, we have to pray, and definitely not in that order. We should pray first and do a whole lot of thinking about what this election can mean to America, what it's going to mean to our children, our veterans, our youth. I mean, the economy, it all comes into play. So anyone who would say, oh, my vote doesn't count, it does count. Every vote counts. And this is where people are going to really have to study, and people are going to have to really vote with a sound, sober mind on the behalf of their fellow Americans and on the behalf of our economy, jobs, school, the environment. This election, there has never, ever been an election that has so many things piled into it that are so critical. So please, everybody, make sure you get out there and vote. If you've already voted and you got your ballots in, that's great. Make sure that you encourage everybody in your family who's eligible to vote to get out and vote.
Good deal. Good deal. Now, what I want to talk about, and I understand all the elements, and there's a lot of elements that's tied into this.
Mm-hmm.
But my thing with 45, maybe some people say he's a great businessman. Some people say not. Some people say that he's went belly up on majority of the businesses that he had and had to file for bankruptcy. And so they don't equate that as being a great businessman, because when you have to file bankruptcy, then I kind of question your business ethics and how you run a business. But some people say it was a great strategy on his part. Yeah. Some people say it was a great strategy. He started the business, made his money, got out, didn't owe anybody. They couldn't take anything from him. So is he a good businessman, or does he just run it like a gangster, like a street mentality, running business like they do on a street mentality? Back to you, Rodney.
Yeah, that's where a lot of people, it's really a bizarre thing. I've actually been working with a gentleman, and he was talking to me about various deals, and basically you can move millions and millions of dollars around in quote unquote debt. You can go into a deal without money, without the securities and things that you really need. I mean, as your typical person, see the general person going to say, I need to go get a loan. That is all weighing on your personal credit score. That is your own personal about you as a person. When you get into business, your business is like a whole nother total different entity. And how they weigh whether or not you get that multi-million-dollar loan or not is based upon the equity and other things that you might have and cash flows. It is a very complicated thing. And this is where we as Americans have to understand the difference. You have to separate, what normal business is and what your average everyday working American. And what matters to the everyday working American does not equate to business. And what equates to business does not equate with the average everyday working American. So that's where the parties have to get together and they have to figure out how do we balance business and the people together for the benefit of all the businesses of America, as well as the everyday working class man and woman who is doing their very best to keep things together. During this pandemic, so many people have been, they've lost their jobs. There is so much pressure on people emotionally, financially, and this is a very, very serious time. I pray for every family out there who's been challenged during this pandemic. I pray for the business owners who have at one time been doing okay and doing well, and now they're having to lay off their employees because, you know, the loss of business. It is a very, very, very serious time. And I really believe that, again, Raheem, this election is going to be something to write in the history books, because there's never going to be anything like, I hope that there's never anything like this again, because 2020 has thrown challenges at everyone, the rich, the poor, black, white, the immigrant. Everybody's been hit, and this pandemic has affected and sadly taken the lives of every kind of people, rich and poor, you know, American and immigrant. It doesn't matter. And this pandemic has not only affected America, it has affected the world. It has affected so many different areas. And so, you know, we look at the young children who are now being homeschooled. How is that going to affect them down the road? How is that going to affect their education? Are they truly learning, or are they just regurgitating what they're studying? And, you know, is it really sinking in? And I'm not talking about like right now. I'm talking about the next 2 or 3 years when they start heading off or getting ready to graduate and apply for college. How is this going to really, really affect the young people? These are all very serious issues. These are all very serious things that everybody has to look at and make a wise decision on. What do we do next? How do we protect it? It's amazing, you know, in certain cities like here in Santa Monica, California, they tell people, look, they want you to wear your mask. A colleague of mine was stopped. He was actually out on the beach, and sadly, his dog had gotten loose, and he was fooling around walking his dog, and his dog ran off. And then he had to call the police, and he's talking to the police, and the police says, "Where's your mask?" They told him they could have fined him $100, first offense for not having a mask on. A lot of Americans say, I have the right to not wear a mask. Well, science is saying that, and I mean, literally, we've all done it. You've been sitting there talking to somebody. It has happened to me before. I've been talking to somebody, and they'll say something, and they literally will spit on your face. I have felt a droplet hit my face when somebody was talking. You mean to tell me that if somebody's having a conversation with you and they literally spit on you by just talking, they didn't mean to, it was completely unintentional. I've actually been talking to people and see spit fly out of their mouth on certain words. As you know, it happens. It happens. So who is to say that the coronavirus, you know, particle cannot be launched out of somebody laughing, coughing, or whatever? So the bottom line is, I think that me personally, I don't care if don't nobody wear a mask. I'm gonna make sure I got one on to try to protect myself. Absolutely. And I do. And when you look at this thing, they're saying that the coronavirus is something that really impacts older people. Am I a scientist? No. Do I care to be? I like to kind of have some general knowledge, but why don't we err on the side of caution? That's what people, I don't understand. So, you know, I'd rather be a little cautious. Yeah, it's an inconvenience. Yeah, you get out of your car and you go, oh, shoot, I forgot my mask. You know what? It's just got to be a mindset that when I get out of the car, I get my car keys so I don't lock myself. I lock my keys in the car, and oh, don't forget your mask. And so I make sure that I remind myself, check off wallet, cell phone, keys and mask, not in that order, but I make sure I do my little check off. Okay, got my wallet, got my keys, got my cell phone, and let me grab the mask. So I think fake real news is, the story that you're giving, you're balancing things out. We've got all kinds of news media. We've got people who are online saying all kinds of stuff. Is it legit? Is it all correct? That's where we really have to study. And Raheem, keep up the good work. I'm glad that, I can share what's happening here in Southern California and balance out what's happening. I know you're back, back there in Atlanta area. We're here. And we're doing our best, but we want to make sure that the viewers have a balance when it comes down to news. And you are speaking from the heart. There's a much bigger reason behind fake real news, and you're putting the good news in, which we all need, and some core common sense stuff. So God bless you, man. And I'm just happy to be on with you and do what I can.
Yeah, I appreciate you too, brother. I definitely appreciate you. My thing is this right here. What we need to do, I think what we need to do, let me see here. I'm trying to figure out, do I need to do this right here? I think I do. Okay, let's do that, because I don't think they was able to see me earlier. I don't know. I'm trying to figure this thing out. Working on a few little things here. But my thing is this right here. Moving forward. And that is a good thing, moving forward. What do we do moving forward? Now, who's calling me doing? Somebody's calling me doing the broadcast, brother. You believe this? Like they don't know we broadcasting. Let me take it back to you, Rodney, and while I grab.
Okay.
Give me 1 second.
Well, and again, I'm actually going to do a little research here. Just pull up a little information on California elections and see what's actually in the news today. As we know, let me see here. As we know, the election is here in Southern California all around. November 3rd is going to be a big, big day. There is some serious information that's out there. Make sure I'm looking at Ballotpedia. Ballotpedia, the elections for 2020, the date, again, November 3rd. Registration deadline, November 3rd. There's online registration, you can do it. There's a lot of information. And there are certain rules. They are saying that there's certain political messages that you're not supposed to be wearing when you get near the polls. I believe it's within 50 yards of the poll. You cannot have on political things. You do not want people rejecting you. Now you've got to go home and change clothes. Just make sure that you're ready. You've got your notes, you've got your head together so that you can do it. There's a lot of stuff. The President of the United States, we're looking at so many different things that are going to get covered. The House, Congress special election, the state Senate. There's a lot of things going to be going on. Make sure that you do your studies. Make sure that you vote, again, at the best of your ability, because this is going to be an important election. And again, if you have any questions, make sure you check out your local registrar. Make sure that your vote is out there and that you can actually be on time. Plan for it. Make sure that you go and vote. Again, here in Southern California, there's a lot of things going on. Our governor, Governor Newsom, he's been under fire, literally, with the wildfires and things that have been going on here in California. He's been very, very challenged. And then there's a lot of issues that some people are not very happy with. So it's going to be a very, very serious. Like California, every city is being affected.
Okay, right. We lost your sound, brother.
Hold on. Now I have some happy person calling.
We lost your sound.
Okay.
Okay. Let me go. I'm gonna switch it back up here.
There you
Hold
go.
on. There we go.
I believe we've got some fake news viewers out there, and they're calling in. So that's what kind of broke up the the whole thing is, again, make sure if you're able to vote, make sure you get out there and vote. Let your voice be heard. It's very, very important. And because this election is going to be pretty serious. It's going to be pretty in depth.
Good deal. Good deal. We're gonna take it back here. What's happening is let me do this here. Do it like this. Perfect. Now we might be able to do. Let me go here and go here. Okay. I'm trying to work on some things here, Rodney. Trying to fix this up here. Y'all bear with me for a second.
There we go. Hold on. I can hear you. Hold on. Matter of fact, I think I am. Matter of fact, I may just actually pull up. Well, keep going, brother.
Okay. Good deal. Good deal. And yeah, what we're going to do, we're going to keep this thing going, because one of the things that now, Rodney, when do you all start? When do you all start you all's voting? When do the polls open there in Cali?
You know what? Your audio is not. Hold for 1 second.
Okay. He's gonna get that. He's gonna get that information for us and find out exactly when the polls open in Cali. Okay, so that's one of the things that we're working on right there, trying to make sure we understand when the actual polls open. So I think if I'm not mistaken, I think the polls open up in California sometime this week, because I was looking at a couple of shows, and I think I was looking at The Real or The View, one of those shows, and they were saying that they wanted to vote, and they couldn't wait, and they went down to the polls even early and tried to vote, but they were not open at that particular time. And because of the fact that they were not open at that particular time, they would not allow them to go in and vote. And so my thing is, Rodney is actually he's on the case right now. He's on the case right now trying to figure out when.
Yeah, I'm back, brother.
Okay. When what you got for us, Rodney? When the polls open?
You know what? A lot of people are already dropping off their ballots at locations that are all over. So if you do have your ballots ready, make sure you get out and drop them off. Make sure you get out and vote. And I'm just doing a little research here.
Oh, Rodney, we lost your volume again, brother. Okay, hold on. Let me go. Let me come back over here, and what we're going to do, we're going to actually, we're gonna stop. We're gonna start it over. Okay, we're gonna stop it. And we're gonna start over. Can you hear me? We're gonna stop it. And we're gonna start over.
I'm sorry, we're doing a little two-step here.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, hold on. Be right back.
Yeah, we're gonna stop this one. Well, y'all might not see this one right here, but I might use some of the footage that's here, and we're gonna keep this thing going. Working on a few things, like I say, still tweaking. We're still tweaking. Y'all know how that tweaking. We're still tweaking. So y'all listen to what we got here. We're gonna work this thing out. We're gonna come right back, and we're gonna start all over from the top of the tier. So y'all stand fast.